Hello BookTube. Today for Tag Tuesday, I will be doing the Christmas Colors tag. This tag was created by Mary and Joe of BookBuds, and I saw this tag on Deb's Rainer Read Stuff, Alan's Big Heart Books and Classics, and Angelia's Read and Reread. I will have links to all 4 channels in the show notes down below. Prompt number 1, a book with a red cover. For this prompt, I'm going with A Little More Red Sun on the Human by Gillian Conoley. This is a selected collection of Gillian Conoley's poetry, and I have a generally mixed reaction every other time I read this collection. Sometimes I really enjoy reading these poems, and sometimes not so much. But yeah. The next prompt number 2, is a book with a green cover. For this prompt, I'm going with The Natural by Bernard Malamud. This is a novel about a prodigy baseball player who doesn't quite live up to his potential. I tried to read this novel back in August and didn't quite get on with it. So I'm hoping to bail redeem it for Bail Redemption December. For those of you who don't know, I bail or not finish the books I read fairly frequently. And I'll give those books a few, sometimes more than a few, second chances. What I call bail redemptions. So far this month, I'm really doing quite well with my bail redemptions. So I'm hoping that The Natural will continue that trend when I finish it. So let's move him back up to the TBR pile. The third prompt, a book with a gold cover or some gold accents. For this prompt, I'm going to go with Volume 9 of Zom 100 by Haro and Kotaro Takata. So Zom 100 is a zombie apocalypse series. It's about a young man named Akira who works a dead-end job. He basically is a real-life zombie until the zombie apocalypse happens, and Akira takes the opportunity to go on an adventure with the friends he makes along the way, and basically doing 100 items off of his bucket list before he becomes a zombie. In Volume 9, Akira and his friends have come to Osaka to look up one of his friends from college, and during this stay in Osaka, Akira becomes a very wealthy young man, and he basically has a lot of coins, which is why the cover has gold coins on it. Prompt number 4 is a book that sparkles. Now, this book very much could have been for the previous prompt as well, but this one is much shinier and sparklier than the cover for Zom 100. This is Byzantium by Judith Herren. So this is a history of the Byzantine Empire in a very shiny, sparkly book cover. I may try to get around to it in the new year. I don't know for sure. Prompt number 5, a book with snow or a snowman on the cover. For this, I'm going to go with another work of manga, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Volume 4 by Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe. So, Frieren Beyond Journey's End is a fantasy series about an elf mage named Frieren, who was part of a party of heroes nearly a century before the series began, who defeated a demon king. After the demon king's defeat, Frieren went on a journey, and when she returned, many of her friends from her previous adventure had died, and Frieren takes on the two apprentices of two of the longer-lived members of her party. And in this volume, I think they're traveling from one place to another. Yeah. So they're basically traveling from where they ended the previous arc to the beginnings of a wizarding exam, because you have to be a certain level of wizard or mage in order to go into Forbidden Zone. And that's where this volume ends. It's been a while since I've read it. Prompt number 6, a book with a pine tree on the cover. So for this prompt, I'm going with The Overstory by Richard Powers, which is a novel which features trees rather heavily. I've never fully read it. I had to go at it many years ago and didn't get on with it, and I've been wanting to give it a second look for a long time, and I finally got around to buying a copy for myself, and I believe that's a pine tree. But before I found The Overstory, I also thought about using Pastel Pointers by Richard McKinley as my answer for this prompt, because I think those are pine trees, although I could be wrong. So this is an art instruction book that looks at, focuses on pastel painting and how to paint in pastels. Prompt number 7, a book with a star on the cover. For this prompt, I'm going to go with Open Heaven by Sean Hewitt. I believe those are stars. So Open Heaven is a novel about a man in his 30s remembering back to his teenage years, where he fell in love with a slightly older young man, and how that relationship, such as it was, panned out. I had to go at this novel earlier this year, and I really was not in the mood for it. I will talk a bit more about that this coming weekly reads, because I am in the process of redeeming it. I'm not quite halfway through, but I'm hoping to either finish today or tomorrow. And finally, the final prompt, outside of tagging people, is a Christmas book. And for this, I'm going to go with Mickey's Christmas Carol from Little Golden Books. I'm assuming this is a brief adaptation of, or novelization of, A Christmas Carol that Disney adapted from Charles Dickens back in the 60s or 70s. This is a gift meant for the demon toddler, the youngest of my nieces and nephews. Although since there are 5 of them, they're no longer the 4 children of the apocalypse. They're the 4 children of the apocalypse and the demon toddler. So, of course, the final prompt is to tag people. So, if you would like to do this tag, you're tagged. Anyway, BookTube, I will be back tomorrow to hopefully talk about a sketch for my manga plans for 2026. So until then, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.